Hello everybody, SirMonkeySuit here, back with My Hero Academia 1, episode 20 of season 3, and I have been told that's filler. It's apparently it's a tie-in to the movie, which I will be reacting to. I will be reacting to the full movie. However, it will be over on the exclusive tier on Patreon, which is like $15 a month. So if you do want to like watch me react to that, that is where you will have to go to watch that. But of course, I'm going to react to this and just see what it's about. Like, you know, it's apparently it's got nothing to do like with anything that's going on, you know what I mean? Like the past filler episodes that we've had, like episode 19 in season 2, at least like had some like relevance to the main plot. Apparently I've been told that this one is just completely different, like it's just not there at all. It might as well be an OVA. So yeah, we will be getting into that. As of right now, of course, yep, I've pretty much sorted my background out now. The only thing I really need to do is prop that poster like up onto the wall, because again it's leaning just on my like bedside cabinet with books on top of it, just because I didn't want that side to be empty for right now. So it's temporarily propped up. It will be put on there very soon. But yeah, this is pretty much what I'm going for as my background. You know what I mean? Somebody asked yesterday on my video about the new setup thing that they missed the Sharks jersey, and you know what? I was like, okay, you know what? If I'm going to put a shelf there, I have space underneath that's going to be blank, so I figured, yeah, I think that's a good place for it. So I'll put my Sharks jersey there. It is a bit behind my chair, but you know, it's still there. It's still there. It still peeks around the corner. But yeah, the shelf is up. Like that's got like all of my fucking like all of my anime like DVDs, fucking Blu-rays, shit like that, manga and whatnot. For those of you who don't know, actually, somebody sent me fucking loads of the Attack on Titan manga, which, you know, I don't really read manga, but you know what I mean, it was interesting to just flick through and just see what like what like the art style and things were like that, because people said that, you know, it's like the anime is the one thing that they almost do better with, like it's because the art's not all that great in it. But you know what I mean, it was interesting to go through. It goes up to 12, so obviously, you know, it doesn't go past what I've watched. If people are like, oh shit, he's already read the manga, like, you know what I mean, past the point that, no, it doesn't. I think that goes up to like, I don't know where it goes actually. I think it's just the start of season 2. I think you see like the Beast Titan, and then it's pretty much that's it. So you know, that's basically where it goes up to. But yeah, it's interesting nonetheless, and it actually puts something like, you know, anime, Japanese fucking sort of pop culture shit in the background to fit with the sort of theme, I guess. So yeah, and obviously like, I've got my figurines up on there and whatnot as well. I realised like this here, this fucking light thing here, because my massive fucking light, which I will be like, I'm trying to move around, try and get it like perfect and whatnot. So if that annoys you, sorry, but you know, it is what it is. Anyway, I've talked enough. So there's no point even talking about what happened last episode, because it's not leading into this one. So I guess we'll just get straight into episode 20 and just see what it's about. I was debating whether or not if I even want to take down notes, but I guess if I'm going to do it with the film, like with the movie, I might as well do it with this episode as well. Okay, so yeah, without further ado, we're just going to get in episode 20 and see what this episode's about. So let's go. Well, I'm almost well, I guess it wasn't really, I don't know, I guess it wasn't much. I was expecting, like, when they had their own class and it was like, this is going to be more difficult than usual classes, I was expecting it to be a bit more like the first OVA was, you know, where it was like rescue training and then all of a sudden it just turned into like a fucking battle type scenario thing. But no, it was just, there was nothing that happened really. It was just like fucking like detective work, but like, you know, there wasn't even much of that either. Alright, so from the very beginning, I found it interesting how like they were trying to like, because of the weird timing of this sort of filler like episode, like the fact that it's like a full episode, you know what I mean, it's not like an OVA or anything like that, it was placed in the season, which is it is strange Like, I'm just would they have been better off like just doing an OVA? You know what I mean? Um, I guess nah. I guess what they wanted to do is they wanted to like to really heavily plug it, right? And putting out an OVA, you know, OVAs don't get nearly as much views as like what the full thing. So yeah, they probably just that's why they would have done it. But you can tell what they were doing. Like they were aware that putting this sort of episode in in the main season, in the middle of an arc, would kind of maybe piss a few people off. I say a few, probably a lot, but so like what they did was obviously at the beginning they kind of tried and they like made like a little thing with Midoriya and All Might, and having Midoriya acting like the viewer, you know what I mean, where All Might kind of like pushing this whole thing about like you know how oh, we can take a break from that, we'll be coming back to that later, but for now let me tell you a story about this and that. So yeah, I feel like with that sort of interaction there at the start, you could kind of tell that the studio, like they knew that obviously it wouldn't be very popular. Which, you know, it's not surprising. I mean, I think out of everywhere that the show has been, I think this is probably, you know, at least like one of the best times you could actually have that episode, because I feel like out of every arc that we've had, this is probably like the weakest. You know what I mean? It's not the most like the stakes aren't as high in this one as this in this arc as there is in the previous ones, you know. And obviously since we still haven't finished up the provisional license like exam thing, you know what I mean, that was probably the best time to have it. Like if you want to have it between like episodes like 10 and 11 or 9 and 10 from like season 3, you know, then that would have royally pissed people off, I think. But to have it here, you know what I mean, it's yeah, I'm fine with that, I guess. But this takes place obviously before the training camp, so there's obviously like a summer holiday type thing going on, and I guess that's where the movie takes place, before the training camp as well. I mean, it would make sense, because obviously All Might back then is still able to use his like the All Might form. So yeah, so it goes up. Obviously, it talks about what All Might was like in his younger days, when he was over in America and stuff, and he had a sidekick called David Shield, who I guess has some sort of fucking Batmobile. That's what it looks like. But yeah, I don't know how old All Might is, considering you've got like Cementos like saying like, "Oh, I've always loved All Might," even as a kid. How fucking old is he? Is he like 40 something? Fucking maybe going on 50. Bloody hell. I did write down the chose like certain people for a harder class, thinking, oh no, it's just taking like the top, sort of like the top students, and then putting them out for a class. But no, it's just, you know, they're splitting them up essentially. So, but still, like if I'm looking at all of the characters, aside from like possibly like Ochako, the rest of them are like top tier. Like, you know what I mean? In that group, like the rest of them are top tier students. You know what I mean? So the other classes wouldn't be all that strong. You know. But I don't know if they were like having the same test given to them or not. Probably not, but yeah. I like how at the start, before before they truly started, Bakugo was taking the lead, obviously, by having like a little like reconnaissance mission thing going on with sending Ochako up there. Like obviously while everyone's like sort of still like getting to grips with the fact that, oh shit, we need something to come up with, Bakugo's like already got it in his head. You know, I like those little bits with Bakugo where it shows that his head's screwed on, and he's you know what I mean, he is smart, and he's not just somebody who like, you know, gets fucking extremely irritated and impatient. Like obviously he did that at the end there, but I think it's because, you know, I think it's sort of it does go a lot in, like, I think it goes through Bakugo's head, the idea of being like the best hero or whatnot. You can't be just sitting around doing nothing, you know what I mean? Because you're just wasting valuable time. You know what I mean? So while it can look just on the outside that Bakugo is incredibly impatient and he just wants to go fucking charging in head first, because he hasn't got some sort of plan. You know what I mean? Like it's just those lot just like sitting there trying to come up with something, you know what I mean, wasting time that could be very valuable. And in the end, Bakugo was the one that took the right course of action, was just to go head on straight first, like, you know what I mean, because that's what led to, like Aizawa said, like that was exactly how it was supposed to go. The only thing he didn't do right was, like, you know, keep an eye on the villain or tie him up or whatever, you know what I mean, because he was still alive. So yeah, the whole like, oh, who did the murder kind of thing, and I was like, well, I guess if there's three of them and all of that story sort of add up, I was like, well, maybe it's supposed to be a trap to get them all in there unsuspecting, and then all of them like kind of jump on them at once, you know, because obviously all of that story sort of added up and things and whatnot. Obviously I was wrong, but I thought that Deku's like thought process kind of come out of nowhere. Like, I get like the idea, like, all right, well, if it was 100%, there is somebody in this room that's killed the villain, whatever, then the one that makes the most sense who it could have been is apparently the one that came in after this all went down, right? But it's still like the fact that Deku's like he's literally going through this whole story, and apparently it's 100% right. Like, how the fuck do you get that? Like, that's ridiculous. Like, I know Deku's smart, you know what I mean, and with time, like, you could sort of figure it out. It was like, yeah, it's a good possibility. But to be able to come up with that whole thing without any knowledge, any previous knowledge, any real information, like no motive, it just beggars belief. Like, you know what I mean? I'm not going to take it too seriously because, again, it's sort of just a promotional episode for the movie, you know. But I do think that, like, it's sort of like, I don't know, maybe they were just pressed for time and what to do in this episode, because I feel like nothing really happened in this episode at all. You know, what I was saying before was I was expecting it to be a bit more like the first OVA. You know what I mean, where there's a lot of sort of action and planning and shit going on. But all that really happened was they got into the jewelry store and spent, like, you know, like 15 minutes or whatever the fuck, just trying to figure out what, well, maybe more like 10 minutes, trying to figure out who the killer was, and in the end, it just all came down to, like, Deku being like, well, I think, you know what I mean? It's not like you had to sit there and then think on it and think, like, you know, like, have breaks in between. He just basically, from one point, just basically spread out the whole story and got it completely right the whole way. I don't even... You know what I mean? So it's almost like they were pressed for time, and they're like, ah, fuck it, we'll just put it all in, I guess. But like I said, I'm not going to take it too seriously. So yeah. All Might got an email from like Melissa Shield, which I guess is David Shield's daughter. They're going to an expo on Island, which is an artificial island for like, I guess, scientists and like support heroes and shit like that. I guess, which is where My Hero Academia 2 Heroes will take place. At least the sort of initial current timeline will take place in it, because I believe it sort of goes like it flashbacks to All Might's like younger self, right? So there'll obviously be shit there, but it'll be flicking back and forth, I imagine. And obviously, you know, even though it's just saying that Midoriya and All Might will be going there, you know, other people will be showing up just because it's like, oh, it's an expo, we all want to go. You know what I mean? You know it's gonna happen. But yeah, it's called Two Heroes. So I'm wondering, is it? I'm guessing it's, you know what I mean, it could be related to like All Might and Midoriya. I don't think it is though. I feel like it's going to be All Might and David Shield, right? I think those will be the two heroes. But it could be a double meaning kind of thing. It could be like two heroes. The ones in the flashbacks and stuff will be like David Shield and All Might, but the ones in the current timeline, because obviously you know something will go wrong. There'll be villains that show up at the expo as well. You can guess that'll happen. It'll be All Might and Midoriya. So, you know, it could be that. Yeah, it could be like, you know, ultimate team up. But you never know. We'll have to see when it comes out. But yeah, again, I will be reacting to that movie when it comes out. I think. I think I heard it was coming out on like Netflix or something. I think it was either that or it was some other anime film. But I'm positive it was. I'm positive it was the My Hero movie. But if I'm wrong, then I'm wrong. But I will be reacting to that at some point. I will put out a video about it when I have reacted to it and it's up on Patreon. But essentially, if you do want to watch me react to the movie, then you will have to be an exclusive patron over on Patreon, which is like $15, alright, a month. So along with that, you know what I mean, you can get access to the current, like another series which I'm reacting to, which is Parasite, and every, like, all OVAs and things like that go into the exclusive tier patronage as well. So you can get access to all of like those things, you know what I mean? So it means that you're not just paying like $15 just to watch me react to one movie, you know what I mean? And I've been wanting to react to movies, like I knew I was going to do it, like, you know, way back, right? Back in May, when obviously it was announced that there was a My Hero movie coming out and people were like, oh, you're going to react to that? I was like, yeah, it is a movie, I guess. But there's got to be a different way I can do it. That's not the same sort of usual way I would react to an episode, you know, because obviously it's a movie, it's feature length, it's you know, it's going to be a bit different that way. So, so yeah, I do want to react to movies and things like that. All reactions to all movies and things will be exclusive, like for exclusive patrons, and then we'll see what we can do from there. I'm not sure how early this is going to be, but when it comes to reacting to movies and things like that, obviously it will be over on exclusive as a sort of video file and whatnot. But if you want, like, I think I'm going to do it like live streamed as well, so that people, if they're like there, they can sort of you know, watch along live with me, and then obviously the people afterwards who like maybe can't turn up for it for whatever reason. Then they can watch just the video file afterwards and watch along with me that way. But yeah, that is all that I've got to talk about. So, in the description below, I have a bunch of links to different places. Discord is one of them. Urge everyone to go over there. If you just want to talk to me or the community, then obviously, you know what I mean, it's pretty much the main reason why you want to go over there. But we've also got like a bunch of other different things going on, you know what I mean, bunch of activities and stuff like that. So if you're interested in any of that, get yourself over there. I also urge everyone to go over there, like if you are wanting me to react to a certain show, because that's where polls and things start. So there's that. My PO box is in the description below, so if you do want to send me anything at all, you can do with that address down there. I'll open up the like whatever it is I get on camera, and it'll be a nice little addition to the video. But if you don't want me to open it up on camera, then you know what I mean. Then you don't have to. You know what I mean. Just make sure you tell me with the package. And finally, Patreon. So Patreon's a big one, obviously. Bunch of different tiers and rewards depending on how much you pay. So if you like want to support me with like $5 a month, that is early access. So that gives you access to basically four episodes per show every single week, and you get them a week early. So obviously, you know, the general public get access to 2 videos like of every show every single week, unless I'm caught up with them, like My Hero, like Attack on Titan. But if you're over on Patreon and you're an early access patron, you actually get 4 across all of those shows. So it's obviously Psycho Pass, Suzumiya Haruhi, Tokyo Ghoul, Code Geass. You get 4 episodes of all of those every single week. So across those shows, that's 16 a week, 64 episodes a month, as opposed to the 32 that the general public gets. So it's pretty good value. So if you're clamoring for more reactions from me, that is the place to go. Full length, that is $10 a month. That gives you access to my full unedited reactions to every single show. That's obviously includes the shows that I've just said: My Hero, Attack on Titan, and ReZero as well. The exclusive tier patronage, I've just told you about that. So it's obviously, you know, you get to watch me react to Parasite, movies, and all OVAs go in there as well. So yeah, the next one is $50 a month. That is the elite tier. That gives you a choice of a show that you want me to react to, and I will react to it. It will go into the list, you know, to the back of the list, obviously, and I'll get around to it eventually. I think there's about 7 shows in there to get through. Of course, like, you know what I mean, because of how many shows I'm doing at the moment, that this is currently the most amount of shows I'll ever be doing at one time. You know, then obviously once like the next show ends, then, you know, I take one from the list, put it in. So it might take a while to get around here, but I will get around to you eventually. If you want to jump the queue though and go to the very front, then you want to get God tier, which is $100. So the rules across God tier and elite tier are that the show must be 150 episodes or less, and it must be a show that I haven't seen before, obviously. And both of those are cumulative as well. The God tier and the elite tier, they're cumulative across all months. So obviously I am on a pay monthly sort of basis. That's what my Patreon uses. So obviously if you pay $100 like the first month, then you obviously get a choice for sure. If you pay the second month, you get a second choice, third month, third choice, fourth month, fourth choice, so on and so forth. Okay, it's all cumulative. So yeah, that is all. So thank you everyone for watching, and I will see you all next time. Bye bye.